I går forsøgte jeg at lave en lidt anderledes reaktionsvideo her på kanalen, i og med at jeg faktisk reagerede på noget content, hvor jeg ligesom skulle lytte til, hvad der blev sagt, og prøve at kommentere på det. Så vi forsøger faktisk lidt det samme i dag, for der blev taget så godt imod det i går. Så ja, mine damer og herrer, vi kan se, at vi har i dag 10 ting, du ikke vidste om N'Golo Kanté. Skud til Non-Stop Football. Det var en fed compilation, der blev sat sammen i går, som jeg reagerede på. Jeg håber, det er det samme i dag. I hvert fald tænker jeg, at vi bare skal i gang med videoen.
N'Golo Kanté is one of the most popular footballers in the world. I mean, is it even humanly possible not to like him? Here are 10 things you didn't know about the king of the...
Det er faktisk blevet sådan lidt semi-populært, føler jeg, at folk hader Kanté for some reason. Jeg tror bare, det er fordi alle andre godt kan lide ham, og så når man prøver at være sådan lidt, se mig, jeg er speciel, jeg er lidt hipster, jeg kan ikke lide ham. I don't know.
All winners. 10. Worked as a garbage collector. Now, it's often said that Kanté does the dirty work on the pitch. Well, when he was growing up, he literally did do the dirty work. Kanté was raised in the suburbs of Paris with his mum, dad, 3 brothers and a sister. His dad tragically died when he was young. And as
what? Så vidste jeg ikke engang. Oh my god, hans far døde, da han var... Wow, det er fandme tragisk. Shit, man.
This child, N'Golo felt a strong sense of responsibility. To help out the family, he reportedly took a job as a garbage collector. Kanté apparently used to walk for miles looking for waste that he'd take to recycling companies in return for a bit of cash. The man himself has never actually confirmed whether the reports are true or not, but all that walking would definitely explain how he got his unbelievable stamina.
That's true. Now, okay, så den er faktisk ikke confirmed, den der, men altså det lyder sådan... Altså, man er ikke overrasket i hvert fald. Lad os sige det sådan, man er ikke overrasket over, at det faktisk er noget, han har gjort, at faktisk har arbejdet som skraldemand, og legit bare gå rundt bare sådan og skralde op for at tjene ekstra penge til familien. Det, altså, det er ikke overraskende. Vi ved ikke, om det er true. Hvis det er true, fair fucking play N'Golo Kanté. Fandme god stil.
9. Went to a fan's wedding.
Det er rigtigt, det har jeg set,
knows how shy and humble Kanté is. Unlike a lot of footballers, he doesn't seek out the limelight. While other star players are seen wearing £1,000 suits at glamorous celebrity weddings, Kanté prefers to be more low-key. After N'Golo had eaten at his restaurant, a Chelsea fan called Frank Khalid invited him to his daughter's upcoming wedding. No one actually expected him to turn up, but when the big day rolled around, Kanté was there at the ceremony. He stayed till the end and he was so nice to everyone and took selfies with the guests, Khalid explained.
Altså, igen, Kanté, my fucking G. Og det er faktisk rigtig nok, det er confirmed, og det er true, det hele, for man har billeder af det selvfølgelig, og personen selv har bekræftet det, men det der er fandme vildt. Kanté, altså, overvej bare sådan casually at have et bryllup, og så bare, så lige pludselig sidder N'Golo Kanté, så sidder han bare der og smiler. Bro, altså, jeg vil være bange for, at han vil stjæle min kommende kone, altså, eller min nye kone, altså, jeg vil tænke, shit, Kanté mødt op, fuck, jeg skal ikke sidde og smile til en, mand, han laver bare Mr. Steal Your Girl on my ass, Jesus, man, men altså, igen, Kanté, people's man, han er en fucking legend.
And took 8. Almost played for Mali instead of France. Kanté's parents emigrated to France from Mali in 1980, 11 years before he was born. That means he qualified to play for the Mali national team. A lot of players are eligible to play for more than one country. The difference with Kanté is that he came very close to throwing his hat in the ring for Mali. Before he was seen as a world-class talent, Kanté told Leicester's assistant manager that he wanted to play for the country his parents were born in. He didn't think he was good enough to play for France and was approached by Mali in 2016. But by then, Kanté was on his way to inspiring Leicester to Premier League glory, and France soon called him up. 50 caps and 1 World Cup trophy later, they definitely don't regret it.
Prøv lige at overveje også bare Kanté, altså casually bare kunne have spillet for Mali. Altså vi har spillere som Haaland for eksempel for Norge, Ibra for Sverige og så videre, som er store spillere, der ikke rigtig har den der store international glory, men altså Kanté for Mali, det er jo en helt anden snak. Altså det er jo et land, der aldrig i nærheden af at komme til noget som det tror jeg i hvert fald ikke. Ja, så vil man have hørt mere om det i hvert fald. Og så har de bare haft sådan en af verdens bedste midtbanespillere på holdet, bare sådan casually. Altså like, what the fuck, man. Det er vildt at tænke på, men ja.
Went to a random Arsenal fans house.
Jeg tror både Kanté og Frankrig er glad for ham. Han valgte Frankrig. Og i øvrigt, det har jeg også set fra. Det viser ikke bare det, der siger Kanté people's man. Prøv at høre det her. Det er fantastisk.
Between London rivals Arsenal and Chelsea. But if anyone can bridge the gap, it's N'Golo.
Præcis.
After a game in...
Bro, også bare det her. Altså, det er literally sådan... Altså, sjovt nok, Arsenal-Chelsea, kæmpe store rivaler og sådan noget, hater, banter og sådan noget med hinanden, men altså, jeg har aldrig hørt nogen Arsenal-fans faktisk bare sådan disrespect N'Golo Kanté. Altså selvfølgelig, at man kan lave sjov med om det der med, at han glider for eksempel mod, var det Martinellis mål, tror jeg, der var, jeg kan ikke lige huske hvilken kant det var helt præcis, men der var han glider mod Arsenal for eksempel, lidt funny, men altså, når det kommer stykket, alle Arsenal-fans, jeg har snakket med, elsker Kanté.
In 2018, Kanté was supposed to get the Eurostar from London to Paris. He missed his train, though, and headed to a mosque close to St Pancras Station instead. When he was there, he met an Arsenal fan who plucked up the courage to invite Kanté back to his house. Amazingly, N'Golo said yes. They spent the evening playing FIFA, eating chicken curry, and watching Match of the Day. Even Arsenal fans love Kanté.
Hvor sygt det er, at Kanté bare sådan casually, jeg har misset mit tog, der kommer en eller anden Arsenal-fan også til ham. Jeg tænker, ved du hvad, fuck it, jeg tager chancen. Kommer hen og spørger ham stille og roligt. Har du lyst til at... og så crash med mig. Vi så spiller FIFA, spiser chicken wings og ser fodbold. Match of the Day. Altså fuck, hvor er det bare vildt.
6 wanted to run to training.
Det er rigtigt, det har vi også hørt før det
her. Kanté's energy on the pitch is unreal. Just ask Steve Walsh, Leicester's former head of recruitment. People think we play with 2 in midfield, he said after the Foxes won the Premier League. I say no, we play with Danny Drinkwater in the middle and with Kanté either side. During his time at Leicester, Kanté wanted to run to training so he could improve his fitness even more. The other players were stunned when they heard this. They persuaded him to drive instead, but all of them were amazed by his dedication. 5 still drives a Mini Cooper. The car park at Premier League training grounds look a bit like outdoor showrooms for supercar makers. You'll see Ferraris, Bentleys, Range Rovers and Lamborghinis all lined up next to each other. Down at Chelsea's training facility, it's a bit different. You'll spot a Mini Cooper among the sports cars. No, it doesn't belong to the tea lady. It belongs to, N'Golo Kanté. It's not really a surprise when you know what the Frenchman's like. He doesn't believe in showing off, and in his eyes a Mini Cooper does the job just fine. Amazingly though, it's the exact same car he first had at Leicester 6 years ago. Even some non-league footballers change their cars more often. 4.
Altså overvej, at du legit bare har den her, altså den her mentalitet med, at altså, okay, jeg vil gerne løbe til træning. Folk er sådan lidt, det er måske lige voldsomt nok Kanté. Okay, fint. Så køber jeg en fucking Mini Cooper. Vi er jo også trods alt i England. Jeg køber en Mini Cooper og kører med den på arbejde. That's it. Ikke noget med, at jeg skal lige have den nye Lambo, og jeg lige skal have den wrapped og sådan noget med altså den ene eller anden farve. Det er Kanté med længder en af de mest humble, altså ydmyge fodboldspillere i verden med længder.
Refused to dodge tax. According to Football Leaks, Chelsea
refuse to, at han ikke gider, eller han nægter at lade være med at betale sin skat, er det virkelig en ting, vi skal klappe af? Er det virkelig en ting, vi skal sige, fair play Kanté, han vil gerne betale skat og bidrage til samfundet, hvor er det bare en god, ydmyg ung mand. Altså, det er vel sådan ret normt, men to be fair, vi ser, hvor mange fodboldspillere, der rent faktisk bare er nogle svin med deres penge. Så måske er det egentlig meget fint.
Allegedly asked Kanté if he wanted to receive part of his salary through an offshore tax haven in Jersey. If he'd said yes, Kanté would have saved around £870,000 a year. But the midfielder wanted everything to be done correctly, so he turned down the offer and asked for a normal salary instead. When Kanté received a pay rise after signing a new contract in 2018, he was suddenly paying more tax than Amazon and Starbucks did the previous year. 3.
Bro, det er så også bare, men det er også bare igen det, jeg mener, det der med sådan, skal vi virkelig sidde og være sådan, flot Kanté, han ikke, eller han rent faktisk gerne vil betale sin skat, ligesom alle andre normale mennesker, men så ser du bare det der med, Amazon, Starbucks, det der fucking lortefirma, der lige laver lige snigerne udenom. Så måske fair nok. Big up Kanté stadigvæk.
Wanted to be an accountant. Kanté probably knows more about the ins and outs of taxes than most other.
Hvis han gerne vil være en accountant, så kunne han have kaldt sit firma for accountant. Accountant. Jeg går videre.
The footballers, That's because he planned to be an accountant if his football dream didn't work out. Kanté wanted to be a footballer from a young age after being inspired when France won the 1998 World Cup and Euro 2000. But being the sensible person he is, Kanté also had a backup plan.
Smart.
While he was playing semi-professional football, he completed a 2-year accountancy course.
What?
Thankfully, he's never needed to use it. Although if Kanté doesn't fancy coaching or punditry after he's retired, he could always dig out his old calculator instead.
Bro, på overvej, så kan han bare, altså my guy, talented AF, og det er altså bare big brain også, og tænke fremadrettet. Den dag, han er ikke fodspiller mere, fuck det der med at stå på tv og se alle mulige ting. Altså bro, my man vil bare gerne arbejde med økonomi og være revisor. Altså det, it's that easy.
2. Nickname the Rat. Kanté's main nickname is NG, but let's be honest, it's a bit boring. Maybe that's what Eden Hazard thought too. When they were playing together at Chelsea, Hazard started calling Kanté the Rat.
Wait, what?
It sounds a bit of an insult, but Hazard meant it as a compliment. Kanté's style of play reminded him of a rat, as he scampered around the pitch and popped up just about everywhere. 1. Won loads of...
Okay, det er fandme random. Kanté blev kaldt rotten af Eden Hazard. What the fuck?
Awards. Ball-winning midfielders used to be unfashionable, and they usually missed out on the individual awards. Not anymore. As well as 2 Premier League titles, a Champions League, a Europa League, an FA Cup, and the World Cup, Kanté has received loads of individual prizes. Those include the PFA Player of the Year, the FWA Player of the Year, the Leicester Player of the Year, the Chelsea Player of the Year, and the French Player of the Year. We'd love to list them all in this video, but it'd take about half an hour. Next up, the Ballon d'Or. What's your favourite thing about N'Golo Kanté?
På overvej, altså at Kanté bare sådan casually bare har vundet Player of the Year i ligaen, i Chelsea og Leicester-klubber, han har været i Frankrigs Player of the Year, og han er midtbanespiller. Altså det der er så imponerende ved Kanté, det er, at han er midtbanespiller, der bliver stadig, altså han bliver snakket om som verdensklassespiller. Han har længe været, efter min mening, Chelseas eneste verdensklassespiller faktisk. I et par år var han i hvert fald. Ja, generelt også bare, altså det med, hvad var det, top 5 han blev i Ballon d'Or, eller noget i den stil, i hvert fald top 10 sidste år, så det viser bare, at Kanté, han er insane. Falder det af på den sidste sæson måske, det er fair nok, man på her, vi elsker alle sammen stadig Kanté, og jeg elsker i hvert fald også at reagere til den her video, jeg håber I gjorde, som sagt skud til Nonstop Football, link til videoen som altid er i beskrivelsen, og ja, andet jeg kan sige, indtil selvfølgelig som altid, 1000 mange gange tak, fordi er de smadret sammen, hvis I nød videoen her, så glem selvfølgelig lige at gå ned og smid et like på den, subscribe, hvis I mere, og vi ses!